What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be creating a client onboarding system for an accounting firm. Let's get started. I'm using money.com as my CRM. Our workspace is called Annex Accounting, and below I have a board called Annex Clients, where we are outlining all the clients that we have in our accounting firm. To start creating our client onboarding system, we'll watch a board column when the status changes. Over here, we have different stages of our status. We have intake, awaiting meeting, proposal sent, awaiting payments, onboarding, closed, or lost. When our status changes to onboarding, we are going to trigger our automation right here. We can search for Monday, and on Monday, we are going to watch a board column value. Here, we'll create a webhook. So to create a webhook, I'll click on add, and then here I'll rename our webhook. So here I'll call it accounting onboarding system. And then for the board ID, I'll choose Annex Clients, since Annex Clients is our board right here. And then for update type, I'll choose items column value, and then click on save. Here, you will see the button that says show address. Click on it and then copy the link to clipboard. On Monday, we'll need to create a webhook. To create a webhook, click on integrate, and then click on webhooks. We will need to send a webhook when a status changes to something. We're going to search for when a status changes to something, send a webhook, and then click on it. Here, we're going to click on use another account, and then the link that we copied right here, we're going to paste it over here, and then click on connect. So here, when a status changes to onboarding, we're going to send a webhook. I just click on add to board to create a webhook. To see if our module is working perfectly, we're going to run it and then click on wait for new data. On our CRM, we're going to change our status to onboarding, then go back to automation. So here you will see that we got the data of our client right here. So that means our webhook is working perfectly. Now, to get the details of our client right here, we are going to add another module on Monday called get item. So search for get an item. Here we're going to choose the right connection, and then for the ID, we're going to add the Pulse ID. And then for the board ID, we're going to use Annex Clients as our board. And then here we'll require to copy our Pulse ID. So I'll copy it. Now, to confirm if this module is running perfectly, we're going to run it. And then here I'll paste the Pulse ID and then click on OK. You'll see all the details of our clients. So here we have the location, phone number, the email, the status, last updated, last created, assignee, and all these other details right here. From here, we can send them a welcome email, just thanking them for joining our firm, giving them a next step direction of when we're going to start the project, who's going to get involved, and all these other details. So search for email and then click on send an email. Here we can add the recipient. The recipient is our client. So here we'll search for the email and then add the email right here. So here we can write our subject lines in the lines of welcome to our firm, and then you can outline the name of your firm right here. So this is just an email I asked ChatGPT to write for me a welcome email for an accounting firm. So here we are outlining a few key points like the person who's in charge of the project, how we're going to streamline their communication and document sharing, scheduling meetings, and we also telling them in the coming days we will send you some documents and forms for him to complete. So it's just a simple welcome email that you can send to the prospect. After sending them a welcome email, you can schedule a call. So this is the last call before you start the project. So search for Calendly, and then here we can create a scheduling link. Maximum event count, we can say 1, and then for the event type, we can say the client interview or kickoff call. So we're going to choose kickoff call. So this could be a client interview call / kickoff call. Click on OK. Here we can set multiple variables on tools. I'll set multiple variables. So here we are describing the outcome of the call that you will have with the client right here. If the call was a success, we're going to assign it success. But if the call was not a success, failed, we're going to assign the variable failed, and then click on OK. If the call was a success, we're going to send them the right documents. So we are going to create a folder on our Google Drive for this particular client. But before I do that, I will set up a filter to ensure that if the call was a success, the automation will proceed to create a folder specific for this client. So on the filter, click on set up a filter. Here we can label it to successful. Over here, I realized I made a spelling mistake. So we can correct success and make it to the right spelling. So if the variable name is equal to success, our variable is going to be success. And if it failed, our variable value is going to be failed. Click on OK. Now, on our filter, we're going to label it as successful. If the condition, which is success, equals to success, we are going to proceed in creating the client's folder. For the Google Drive folder, we can choose to name it our client. So here we can rename it to clients folder and click on OK. Here, create a connection between Google Drive and make.com. After creating a folder, here you will choose a folder location for folders. I'm going to choose onboarding system, and then to give it a name, I'm going to give it a name for our client and click on OK. So here, all the resources that involve this client, the contract, the duplicates of the contracts, and all these other details about the specific clients will be added to this specific folder. Now, since this is an accounting firm, we can add other folders for work. For example, like the invoices folder for the invoices. So here we can add a folder. Choose create a folder. We're also going to choose a location for this folder, onboarding system, and give it a name. For example, this is for invoices. So all the invoices will be added to this folder. You can also rename it to invoices to avoid any confusion. Now, besides invoices, we can maybe add another folder for tax returns. So here we create another folder. And then here we're going to choose the folder location, which is onboarding system, and then call it tax returns. And then click on OK. You can also rename it to tax returns. Click on OK. Lastly, maybe we can add a folder for statements and balance sheets. So we're going to create another folder. Here we're going to choose a folder location, onboarding system, and then for folders name, you can say balance sheets, stroke statements. You can also copy it so we can rename our folder right here and click on OK. The next thing we'll do is we'll create a communication channel with our client. The communication channel that we're going to use is Slack. So I'll search for Slack, and then on Slack, I'll create a channel. So here I'll search for channel, and then click on create a channel. Here we can give it a name. For example, okay. Here we'll establish the topic for our channel. So here I'll search for set the topic of a channel. The channel type is going to be public, and then I'll select from the list, and then I'll just choose general as our public channel. Then the topic is going to be, let's say, financial management, and click on OK. The next thing you can do is you can invite users. So here you can invite users to a Slack channel. And then here you can add any of these users. And then lastly, you can create a message on the channel. We're going to add the channel ID from the creator channel. Then for the text, you can say, welcome aboard. And then we can choose the name of our client. So we're going to go with first name. And then below you can say looking forward to working with you. You can choose to add blocks, but on this video I'm not going to add any blocks. Then click on OK. After they've made payments, we are getting the client's data from Monday. We are sending them a welcome email, scheduling an interview call, and if the call was a success, we are now creating a specific folder for the client. We're also creating other folders like invoices, tax returns, balance sheet statements, and any other folder, so we can add all the required documents on those specific folders. And then over here, we are creating a communication channel on Slack. So we are creating a channel, setting the topic of the channel, inviting users, and creating a message. Let us run our client onboarding system and see if it runs successfully. To run our entire automation, I'll click on Run Once, and then click for Wait for New Data. On Annex, I'll change our status to intake, and then change it back to onboarding, so we trigger our webhook. You can see it's running successfully. And fetched our client's data on Monday, send them a welcome email, scheduled the call. Yeah, the call was a success, and it went ahead and created the clients folder, the invoices folder, tax returns, balance sheet. It also created a Slack channel for communication with this specific client, set the topic for the channel, invited the users, and created a welcome message for this client. This is a welcome email that we sent over here. So here I filled in with our company's details. So welcome to Lux. I filled in with all this relevant info. Like for example, over here, primary point of contact will be Peter, and this is his email right here. So when we go back to our email, you're seeing that we have Peter at Annex right here. We're also customizing the email with the first name of our company, including the subject line. We created folders on our Google Drive. So on our onboarding system folder on our Google Drive, you'll see the 4 folders that we created right here. And then on the Slack channel, you'll see that we created a channel called Annex. So when we go back to automation, here where we created the channel, we renamed our channel to Annex. That's why our channel is called Annex. And then here you can see we have a welcome message. So here we are welcoming our client, who's also called Dennis. So welcome aboard, Dennis. Looking forward to working with you. This welcome message is similar to the one that we had right here. So welcome aboard, first name, looking forward to working with you. You'll see that we added this application on our general channel, and we set the topic to financial management. Another thing that I would add, if I was to add something in our system, I would break the communication channel to both internal and external. So for the internal is for the internal team to communicate on the channel, and for the external is for the external team to communicate using that channel. To do that, here you can highlight these modules, and here we'll add a router. So click on a router. I'll choose to copy these modules and add a router right here. We'll add another link. So for this one, we are going to paste our modules that we copied previously. And then we can delete this module. And then for this one, we can link it to our router. And then here we can auto align it. We are now can set up a filter and call this label internal. We can add the conditions right here if you want to. So if it's internal, so if it's an internal message equals to, and then you can add a condition right here. So this one will be an internal message. And then for this one, we can also set up a filter, call this one external. And then here we can say if the message contains an external message, you can add the message right here, message sample, then click on OK. And the message will go ahead to the external team. So these were the above automation is for the internal team, and the one that is below is for the external team. So we can auto align it. This is a simple client onboarding system that you can set up right now and onboard your clients efficiently and remove yourself from all the manual tasks that are involved in onboarding new clients in your business. You can just follow along by setting up every single module the way I did on this video to create these automation system for your business, your farm, or your agency. If you have any automation in mind that you'd like for me to create, just comment down below in the comment section. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.